Hello, guys. Thank you for coming today. Amazing musical performance.
Oh my God, thank you.
So the little interview today, we just want to get to know, not only Casey Powell as a musician, but a person as well. So first question right off the bat, what's the worst thing that's ever happened to you?
I almost got stabbed once.
Oh, my.
That was pretty bad. But
Wow.
I try to use the worst thing as a reason to be like, oh, I'm happy that that's not happening anymore.
I mean, that kind of bounces off to the next question is, out of the three of you, who do you think would win in a hot dog eating contest?
I would win.
Will's the snack king. Do you have something in the car right now? Yeah, he has some Twix in his backpack right
Twix.
now.
So the next one is for all three of you guys too. So if you were in WWE and you had a persona, what would your persona be or your gimmick?
I don't know if this would be the one that I stand by. It would be funny if like somebody was called Nacho Cheese and they were just screaming Nacho Cheese and punching people.
All yellow fit.
He'd be a chip off
Chip
the
on
old
your shoulder.
block. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was a little cheesy.
Since I'm a drummer, I can use like drumsticks, but like put like a chain in between. So.
Firmly say this is the first time I've ever been asked that before.
Hot dog eater.
I feel like yours would be like, how we always say you always have prepared everything, like a tool man type of guy. You just have this box that you just pull like random stuff out.
I would have moves named after any construction character, like the Handy Manny, the Fix-It Felix.
Oh, that's a good one. As a sound guy, there's a stigma that sound guys are so angry all the time. And we know that you're a sound guy too. So, one, do you know what makes sound guys so angry? And two, is that why you meditate?
I would say it's a reason to
Yeah.
meditate, and most sound guys don't meditate. A lot of sound guys are angry for a lot of different reasons. A lot of times people become the sound guy because they said yes. They didn't really go through training or anything to be a sound guy, and then sound stuff is a lot of times very confusing. When the consequence is just feedback for a bad decision, and that can happen all around every corner, might make you angry.
You started meditating. Did you go to a class? Did you use an app?
Started with the Netflix Headspace, a series on Netflix. As of recently, the past couple years, I feel like I need it.
Do you guys meditate?
In my last semester at U of L, the jazz piano professor said, hey, you should take this class called Musician's Wellness. Starts with 10 minutes of meditation every day. And for the first 3 weeks, I was pretty just awful, for me at least, because I was just I'm sitting in the dark in a class I didn't want to take. But then I got really into meditating. So I meditate.
So kind of forced onto you, but now you love it.
Yeah.
So if you guys had to pick a TV character for yourself that you feel like you embody the most personality-wise, what character do you think you would choose for yourself? And then what character would you choose for your buddies?
My favorite character right now is Kakashi Hatake from Naruto.
I guess for myself, Zoro Roanoa from One Piece. And then for Casey, I'll stick with the One Piece. I'll give you Luffy. Kind of works out though because there's three, so
exactly,
Luffy's
yeah,
the
and then for
lead,
Cam,
the lead guy, and then he's got his two right hand men and Zoro and Sanji.
You act like Hashirama sometimes.
I don't watch anime, so I don't know who any of those people are. I guess for myself, I'd say MacGyver from the show MacGyver. For anyone that doesn't know him, he can basically turn anything into anything else. So he can turn that drum set into a cannon, or that light into a taser, etc., etc.
Will's a hard one because it's all right, is there a character out there that can do everything perfectly the first time and be really funny and always have snacks on him? I feel like Will's his own character in this game called life.
So what are your guys' musical influences, but when you were in middle school or early high school? And then how does it contrast to now, or maybe it's the same?
I was really into classical music for whatever reason. I really liked marching band music too. I would listen to these arrangements of pop songs written for marching band, and I would spend hours sight reading arrangements of those stuff. And then high school, I got into jazz, and I was studying bebop. So I'd say my influences are mainly around jazz and funk, so Snarky Puppy, Marcus Miller, Count Basie, that kind of thing, and gospel too, because I play in church.
I guess the first CD that I ever picked, my dad took me and my sister to the music store one day when we were real young, bought us all CD players and let us pick one.
Oh, I love that.
One CD, and it was Little Bow Wow. I think it was
Okay.
like maybe his like sophomore album, and I used to play that thing like back and forth all the time when I was in elementary school. I grew up in church a lot, so I had to listen to all that a lot, and just like I would just practice to that type of music. Middle school, high school, I had a friend actually that I gave him a stack of blank CDs, and he would just give me like. He would just come to school with like random like mixtapes and stuff, like random
Oh,
music he
that's
would
cool.
get, and
Yeah.
I would just kind of listen to what he gave me. It's kind of funny because I listen to more of like music that's either like something I'm working on or like people that I know locally that are like doing music. I try to listen to that stuff more, and it's just kind of feeding off that as far as being a musician and listening to other people around you to get some inspiration up close.
In elementary school, like my first concert was a Taking Back Sunday, The Used, and Blink 182 concert. So I was definitely into some of that pop punk stuff. In middle school, I was more listening to like Portugal the Man and the Mars Volta and Death from Above, and so some like weird shit. My dad always played like he's a DJ, so like he would always play what's on the radio all the time through all the decades. So I listened to a bunch of pop music. I really like pop music too. At high school, I kind of started getting more into like Michael Jackson and Red Hot Chili Peppers and the Brothers Johnson. I feel like I just listened to so much music because like also my brothers, they all listen to different shit, and then I was listening to everything that they would listen to. Well, Connor and Taylor were playing together, but I was too young to. They would be like, "Get out of my room," you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like my music kind of sounds like a weird blend of heavy stuff mixed with groovy stuff, mixed with pop music, mixed
Yeah, I
with
feel that.
experimental, like psychedelic shit.
What is so delicious? And are you a good cook?
I actually am a pretty good cook. I would say that I kind of cook the same way I play guitar.
Freaky.
Pretty freaky. When I cook for myself, try to make things as healthy as possible. It's kind of like that's first, and then I try to add as much flavor to it. And I don't really like follow a recipe anytime I cook. Yeah, you just feel it, improvise, I guess the song the song is about a lot of stuff, but it's more around becoming aware in certain situations
Yeah.
and realizing before you're aware what is happening around you is being told to you that it's a lot better than what it actually is. That's what you hear when you listen. You find out what's actually going on. Before you know it, you're lucid dreaming.
Fashion icons.
Jimi Hendrix is pretty
Oh, yeah.
fashionable. Prince, too.
Yeah, I'd say Casey Powell was probably my first and really my only fashion icon. So yeah, on my 21st birthday, Casey called me to play at Whirling Tiger with him and Jans. We got to wear pink, and I was like, I don't have a pink shirt. He was like, I got you.
It's a
He
beautiful
has like
shirt.
5 shirts at the ready. He's just like, oh yeah, you take a pick. I bought a purple and yellow jacket per his request. He's like, oh, the colors are pink. So then I bought the pink jacket that I wore earlier. But yeah, I'd say Casey Powell.
I'm about to cry.
We had fans vote on what they wanted to ask you guys. 327 fans voted on their 3 top fan questions, and everyone is dying to know. Do you guys go to restaurants together?
Yeah. It's like usually after gigs, we be getting food or like between sound checks. Gone a lot of places. Yeah, Hawks.
Oh, Hawks. Yeah,
Yeah.
nice.
If we're done early, it's like, all right, what are we all doing together now?
Yeah.
We all play a lot of music together in a bunch of different ways. Feel like we hang out a lot. We were hanging out last night. I think we've played like 4 shows in the past like 2 weeks or
Wow,
something.
yeah.
It's always good to hang out with the boys,
Yeah.
especially since it's been like a trio for real. And I feel like it just enhances the music too. So
I definitely say that we're friends. It's about like a year ago. It was like the first time I ever actually played with any of these guys. I was tracking for Ray Key's new song, and that's when I met Casey for the first time. And I was like super nervous, met Casey, and he was like the first engineer I'd ever met. So I was like, this guy's gonna he's gonna be after me. And he was like he was like and he was like super chill as I tracked everything. And that was like the first time I had tracked for someone specific. And they called me like a few weeks later, like, hey, do you want to play on this thing? And I thought I made it at that point. It was a gig at High Horse with his band and Jordan Blaze, another friend of ours. So we played at High Horse. But then it was like of our friends now. But to me, it was just like I was like a dwarf among giants. Super nervous, practicing like super hard, learning all Casey music like note by note, notating it all down.
Yeah.
Like I wrote whole charts for everything.
Wow.
I think it was nasty. There was an intro that we don't do, and I learned it like top to bottom. He was like, "Oh, we actually don't do that," and I was like, "Oh, well, okay." We've played so many times in that last year, so yeah, I'm extremely grateful to call these guys friends now.
Aw.
We all love each other.
That's all from asking if you go to restaurants together.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Some food for thought.
Now on to our next segment, the pun challenge.
Open
Casey
up the
isn't-
pit.
Exactly. But Casey is known for his amazing puns. So we're going to give you some scenarios, just to make puns to. Just a couple of them. First one, your drummer is really hungry.
Needs a drumstick. Also, I make abstract food, so I don't know if you like it because I just thrown it together. Nothing to really put on a pedal stool. Sometimes I cook for people and they like it, and I take it as a symbol of hope. I'm going to let this ride out for a moment before it crashes. He was hungry and I fed him with puns.
Next one, dog can't stop farting.
Your dog can't stop farting. I'm totally fucking it up. I'm having a rough time. For some reason my brain is just thinking
Dog shit, dog shit, dog shit.
I'm just tailing you guys what I feel.
Last one, total asshole spit on your new shoes.
I'd have to kick that asshole with my shoe, and we'd have to fight, and I wonder if it would be a tie or not. But, it would really take the soul out of me to fight another person for shitting on my shoe. Actually, my brother, he stepped in shit once in brand new shoes. That's not a pun. That's just a thing that happened. The night before we moved to Florida. It was human shit, too.
Oh, wow, yours?
No. He said
that
you'd
was
have to
good.
converse before the fight.
So Casey's not the only pun king in the room right
Yeah.
now.
Everybody I meet, we start training.
Well, amazing. Well, are you guys releasing anything soon, or before we wrap it up, anything you want to promote or say? Or
We're all playing for Mars now, and we've been recording with her.
Cool.
I don't know when it's going to come out. And then also, Will and I are going to be releasing some songs with Jordan Blaze, too. My album's going to be coming out sometime soon, and I'm working on some new stuff.
I'll put a link to your socials in the description. Follow Casey Powell, and then I'll put all of your, if you guys are cool with it, just your personal Instagram so they can follow.
Yeah.
Because you guys are always doing things, and not just Casey Powell, but,
Yeah.
multiple things. So, and maybe one day we'll hear that big intro.
Yeah. It'll be on the record, and he will know how to play it note for note.
Yeah. Perfect. Well, that's it. Thank you guys for playing.
Thank you for having us.